If you don't mind me being a little bit cheeky, what amount do you trade with in terms of amount? Good morning traders, welcome back to Kuala Lumpur, starting the day in a KFC today, and there's a lot of work to be done, so let's get started really fast. Well, I just went out of my cave, been editing all the afternoon. It's been raining really hard, like pretty much for a good 3 hours or more. And I came to this restaurant where they offered to serve me a love coffee. Whatever that means. Apparently it's good, apparently it's a local thing, so we'll try it out. And I'm here for dinner. What I want to do today is I want to share with you guys some of the answers to questions I get by email. And I get a bunch of email on my strategy, how to trade it, how that works, what you do, a bunch of stuff. So I want to answer all the questions I get, so that it's going to be a reference for later, and hopefully you get some good answers to your question. I think some details will go more in depth here in the academy, but know that the academy has everything you need to know, plus a lot of good strategies that have been tested in the past. So check it out, it's going to be right here, and let's get to the questions. First question: can you show me a video where you identify your thought during a live situation? Well, here's the thing, I don't think when it's live, it's just I just look at the strategy and execute whatever I need to execute. So I don't think about the market and what's happening and the move and the ups and downs, because that's a waste of time. So I won't do a video on that because it would be boring. It would be like me looking at the chart at the opening of the candle, and then that's it. Nothing else happens. Even though I might think some things, I don't act and I don't push the button or anything. I tend to panic when move happen. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I thought. But don't panic. If you have the plan, you just respect the plan, and everything will be fine. Over the long term, of course. Second question: do you do top-down weekly analysis only one day a week, and then just focus on the daily, 4-hour and 1-hour chart, while putting the price action into context, followed by trades? That's a long question, but I think it means, do you do the analysis like every week for the context, and then follow the candlestick every day? I try to do it every day, because the more you do it, the clearer you get in your mind. So I do my analysis every single day. Usually in the morning it's a bit longer. I look at all the pairs, all the time frame, daily or weekly, sometimes both, 4-hour and 1-hour chart, just to give me an idea of all the pairs I follow. And then throughout the day I'll look at the 4-hour chart and the 1-hour chart. Not the daily chart because they only close 1 time per day, but the other time frame I'm going to be pretty much all day.
The special coffee.
Thank you.
This come from Brazilian.
Awesome. How do you call this?
Malaysian name ginseng coffee.
Ginseng coffee. Okay. Cool.
This is a special ginseng.
Awesome.
Signature.
Good. Very good. Thank you. Coffee is always good. Back to it. Normally, what is your risk? For me, it's 1%, but you have to always go with the risk of ruin that you calculate. That's going to be the maximum. But then based on your personality and who you are and what you think and what you want to focus on, maximizing the return or minimizing the drawdown, then you go with whatever risk you want to put in. For me, it's 1%. Could be higher for you, could be lower. It doesn't matter. I know could risk about 2.5 to 3% per trade without being in trouble. But for my personality and for the drawdown I want to have, I lower it a little bit. If you don't mind me being a little bit cheeky, what amount do you trade with in terms of amount? Anywhere between $0 and $100,000 for now. Can you send me a list of the current pair you trade? Here it is. This is a good question here. Does your price have to close outside the Bollinger Band and then have an engulfing candle? So do you need to have the close outside the Bollinger Band? In my opinion, this happens very rarely. So I don't look at the close, I look at the highs. Let's say if it's going to be a sell trade, the highs to be above the Bollinger Band and then engulfing candle. Okay, so because close would be very limiting. So I prefer just like going above. And I'll show you an example of trade, but that's the principle here. The wick only would be fine. Can you do a video on how you manage trade in time? Example during short time frame versus longer time frame, and how you manage time activities around trading. Well, I've done a video about the topic. I think I'll link it below if I'm not mistaken. It's all about managing your time, scheduling everything. So whatever time you schedule, and there's, by the way, free resource, the time blocking guide, which I created a few days ago when I wasn't typing. It took me like the whole night. I'll link it in the corner here so you guys can check it out. It's a free guide on how I manage my time, how I schedule things. That works if you are day trading or swing trading, so you can grab it for free. And that is how I manage my time. I think that's it. Now I'll wait for dinner and see what happens after. No problem.
This is
Thank you. Another question people ask me quite frequently is, can I trade this on lower time frame? And that's a question I asked myself also a lot in the past, and I tried to backtest a few different things. What I've seen is that the most reliable results are going to come when you look at the zone on a higher time frame, like the daily chart and the weekly chart. But it's also possible to trade even if you are to look only at one time frame. You just have to adjust, select a specific session in the market. I found this to work especially well in the Asian session, but don't forget that you might have to do some tweaks and adjustments, like how many pips above the high you enter and things like that. But it's still the same strategy overall. And now it's gonna be that time of the week to pack the suitcase. I got pretty good at it.